Imagine the terror. A young Doris Day, just 19 and glowing with new life, stares down the barrel of a gun pressed against her pregnant belly by her jealous husband, Al Jordan, demanding she end it all in a fit of rage. This nightmare marriage was only the beginning of the shadows lurking behind Hollywood's brightest smile, where betrayals, bankruptcies, and chilling Manson ties threatened to shatter her forever. But from the ashes of abuse and heartbreak rose an unbreakable icon whose untold horrors fueled her triumphant rise to stardom. Dive in now, if you dare, to uncover the suspenseful secrets that haunted Doris Day's life.
Hey there, folks! Welcome back to Timeless Voices, where we dive deep into the lives of legends who shaped our world with their talent, grit, and gosh darn heart. Today, we're talking about Doris Day, that all-American gal with the freckles, the golden voice, and a smile that could light up a rainy day. But, behind that sunny image was a woman who faced more storms than a Midwest tornado season. We're gonna walk through her whole life story, from her scrappy childhood to her blockbuster films, her tangled family dramas, the affairs that whispered in the shadows, the tragic events that nearly broke her, and right up to her peaceful last days. Buckle up, buddies, 'cause this one's gonna tug at your heartstrings. Let's get into it. Born Doris Mary Ann Kappelhoff on April 3, 1922 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Heck, can you believe she thought she was born in 1924 till she found out otherwise in her 90s? Her folks were German-American. Mom Alma, a bubbly housewife who loved a good laugh, and Dad William, a strict music teacher and choir master who could belt out a tune but had a heart as cold as a winter wind. Little Doris was the baby of the family, with two older brothers, one who passed away young, leaving a shadow over the house. Family life wasn't all peaches and cream. Her parents' marriage crumbled when she was just 10, after she overheard her dad cheating with her mom's best friend. No goodbyes, no hugs. He just packed up and left. And Doris hid in the bushes, watching him go, her little heart shattering into pieces. That betrayal, it stuck with her like glue, making her wary of love from the get-go. But Doris, she was a fighter, even as a kid. She threw herself into dance, ballet, tap, you name it. Formed a duo with a buddy named Jerry Doherty, winning contests left and right. Gosh, she dreamed of dancing her way to the stars. Then tragedy struck on October 13, 1937. At 15, riding in a car heading to a family shindig, bam! It crashed into a train. Her right leg shattered like glass, finger mangled too. Doctors said she'd never dance again. Can you imagine the pain, the tears, lying in that hospital bed wondering, how the heck am I gonna make it? But during her recovery, she tuned into the radio, Ella Fitzgerald, Benny Goodman, and discovered her voice. Mom got her singing lessons from Grace Rain, who saw the spark and fanned it into a flame. That accident, it broke her body, but birthed a star.
By 1939, Doris was singing with bands like Barney Raps, changing her name to Day after the song Day After Day, 'cause Kappelhoff was a mouthful, She toured with Bob Crosby, then hit the big time with Les Brown and his band of renown. Hits like Sentimental Journey and My Dreams Are Getting Better All the Time topped the charts in 1945, making her the voice of wartime hope. Les called her the equal of Bing Crosby or Frank Sinatra. High praise, buddy. She went solo in 1947, recording over 650 songs, including her signature, Que Sera, Sera, from 1956. That tune? It won an Oscar and became her life's motto. Whatever will be, will be. But life wasn't always that philosophical for her. Now, let's talk family life, the heart of her story, full of love, loss, and a whole lot of drama. Doris married 4 times, each one a roller coaster that make you dizzy. First hubby, Al Jordan, a trombonist she wed at 19 in 1941. Gosh, it was a nightmare from the start. He was jealous, violent, beat her senseless, even held a gun to her belly when she was pregnant, trying to force a miscarriage. She gave birth to their son Terry in 1942, but fled that abusive mess in 1943. Al later took his own life, leaving scars on Doris that never fully healed. Terry? He was her world, her only child. She raised him as a single mom while grinding on the road, eventually letting her 3rd husband adopt him. Second marriage to sax player George Weidler in 1946? Short and sweet, ended in 49. No kids, just a quick divorce. But then came Martin Melcher in 1951, her manager and producer. They seemed like the perfect team. He handled the business, she shined on screen. They were Christian Scientists, bonding over faith. But behind closed doors, Marty was controlling, bullying, and gosh, the betrayal that came later. We'll get to that tragedy soon. And affairs? Oh, Doris wasn't the virgin queen Hollywood painted her as. Publicly, she was the wholesome gal next door, but privately, she had flings that added spice to her life. One with actor Patrick O'Neill, a married man. She felt no guilt, saying it just happened. Rumors swirled about Louis Jourdan, her co-star in Julie. Even dated Ronald Reagan back in the day. You know, she was human, craving connection amid the chaos. Her film career? Pure magic, but laced with drama. Debuted in 1948's Romance on the High Seas, crying through the audition, but winning the role with her raw charm. Hits rolled in. Calamity Jane in 53, where she belted Secret Love and won an Oscar for it. Love Me or Leave Me in 55, playing singer Ruth Etting. Critics raved. James Cagney called her a pro. Then Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much in 56, singing Que Sera, Sera again. But the rom-com era, that's where she owned the box office. Pillow Talk with Rock Hudson in 59 earned her an Oscar nod. Lover Come Back, That Touch of Mink with Cary Grant, the thrill of it all. She was the top female star 4 times running. But you know, she turned down The Graduate 'cause it felt too darn vulgar. Her last flick, With 6 You Get Egg Roll in 68. TV came next. The Doris Day Show from 68 to 73. She hated it at first, but it saved her bacon after Marty's death. hosted Doris Day's Best Friends in the 80s, even having Rock Hudson on, despite his AIDS battle. She stood by him, showing her loyal heart. But let's not sugarcoat it. The tragedies in Doris's life, they hit like a freight train. First, that childhood accident. Then the abuse from Al. Marty's death in '68 from a heart issue? Devastating. But the real gut punch, she discovered he'd squandered her millions with shady lawyer Jerome Rosenthal. Bankrupt, in debt up to her eyeballs, she had a nervous breakdown, crying for days. Sued and won $22 million in '74, but the emotional toll? Priceless pain. Then the Manson horror in '69. Her son Terry, a hotshot producer for the Byrds and Beach Boys, had rented his house on Cielo Drive to Roman Polanski. Manson targeted it because Terry rejected his music demo. The murders, Sharon Tate and others, happened there after Terry moved out. Doris and Terry lived in fear for months with guards round the clock. Gosh, the terror. Her fourth marriage to Barry Comden in '76 started sweet. He was a maitre d' who loved dogs like she did. But it soured. She put her pets first, and they split in '82. Then the ultimate heartbreak. Terry's death from melanoma in 2004. Her only kid, gone at 62. Doris retreated, saying the pain was too much to bear. In her later years, Doris found solace in animals. Founded the Doris Day Animal Foundation in '78, lobbying for welfare laws, starting World Spay Day. Owned the pet-friendly Cypress Inn in Carmel by the Sea, California, living with dozens of rescue dogs. She became a recluse, but a happy one, watching Dodgers games, practicing Christian Science. Awards poured in. Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2004, Grammy Lifetime Achievement in 2008. But she skipped the ceremonies, too shy, you know. Her last days? Peaceful in Carmel Valley, surrounded by friends and fur babies. On her 97th birthday in 2019, she chatted about missing Rock Hudson and loving Calamity Jane. But pneumonia snuck up, and on May 13th, 2019, she slipped away quietly at home. No funeral, no marker, just as she wanted. Her last words? Nothing dramatic recorded, but in interviews, she always said, "Que sera, sera." Whatever will be, will be. A timeless philosophy from a woman who'd seen it all. Doris Day's legacy. She's the voice of hope, the face of resilience. From big band hits to rom-com queenship, she touched hearts. But remember the real her. The gal who faced abuse, betrayal, loss, and came out swinging. Her animal work lives on, saving lives every day. If this story moved you, and heck, how could it not, hit that like button. Subscribe to Timeless Voices for more emotional dives into legends' lives, and share with your buddies. Drop a comment. What's your favorite Doris moment? Let's keep her voice timeless. Thanks for watching, folks. See you next time.